Well, hello. Well, I want to tell you about something big. I mean, really, really big. This happened this year in the Runge family. My mom, for the first time, got a smartphone. Yeah, this is huge. Now, this is the actual first text message that my mom sent to me just a couple weeks ago. It's a great first mom text, I think you'll agree. Yay, Mom, right? 2013 text, here we go. Now, my mom has gone from what is essentially an unconnected world to a completely connected one. And she's blown away by the amount of information available to her. After giving my mom some of the smartphone basics, the 101, she had some interesting questions after I told her that I could use my apps to find deals at restaurants all over the country. She asked, well, how does it know what restaurants you like? I said, well, I tell it. She said, but how does it know where you're at? Because I allow it. And how does it know that you actually want these deals? Because I let it. You see, I give information so I can get information. Now, for my mom and many people like her, the idea of giving personal information to what is essentially a stranger is a scary proposition. You don't do that. But for our consumer culture today, it's NBD, right? It's no big deal. It's a simple price you and I pay to stay constantly connected and keep pace with the rest of the world. I give information so I can get information. I simply want my smartphone to be smarter. And so here we are. Technology is great. It makes things easier. But if my life is better when my technology is smarter, then I'm willing to give it more data. And I do. Today, my calendar is online. My photos are online. My location is online. My money is online. My communications are online. Heck, even my current status of what I'm doing today is online. And then it starts to go a little further. My opinions are online. My preferences are online. My choices are online. And if my entire life is online, and the technology knows my opinions, preferences, and choices, then certainly it can cross-reference the world of data and tell me what I should agree with, what I should prefer, and what I should choose. And it does. Spotify tells me what music I should listen to. Netflix tells me what movies I should watch. Amazon tells me what books I should read. Yelp tells me what restaurants I should eat at. Dating sites tell me who I should meet. And Foursquare tells me where I should take them. And all my social channels tell me who I should friend, follow, and link into because I'd likely agree with the who, what, and where on their opinions to everything. The technology believes it knows me so well, and perhaps it actually does, that it's gone ahead and told me what to discover. Well, I like discovery. Discovery is a good thing. Discovery means advancement. Discovery means I learn something. Discovery makes me and the world around me more interesting. But here's where I'm going to ask the tough question. When we rely on our technology for discovery, are we really discovering anything at all? Let me give you an example. I use Spotify to listen to some of my favorite music artists. Based on the artists that I listen to, Spotify recommends other artists I'd likely enjoy. They actually have a button called Discover. This seems like an amazing concept, right? I mean, do you know how long it would take me, how much time and energy I'd actually have to put in to actually find all these bands on my own? But instead, here are all these new groups perfectly presented for me to discover. But wait, I didn't discover them. Spotify did. I'm just a consumer being sold discovery. You see, discovery isn't about the final aha. Discovery is a process. And the connection that I make with the music artist is the fruit of having gone through the process. Unfortunately, by skipping to the end, we're essentially ruining the elated, magical feeling that comes with discovery. And now because the joy of having persevered through the process is actually being done for me, I'll never find what I'm desperately searching for because I never earned any of it. Who has the greater joy of discovery? The person who buys a pair of Brazilian boots on a recommendation from Zappos? Or the person who actually went to Brazil and handpicked those boots off the street vendor who made it? The person who told their crazy uncle exactly what to buy them for Christmas? Or the person who shook the box every day and wondered what the heck could be in this thing, but waited until the final moment to open it. The true joy of discovery comes when the surprise at the end is real and not fabricated. Now, the music, movies, and books that oftentimes become our favorites do so because of the circumstances surrounding their consumption. My favorite movie is Spaceballs because I snuck into it as a kid. Also great acting. My favorite book is one that I found on a library shelf in a section I wasn't even looking for. And my favorite restaurant is one that I thought was going to be so horrible until I actually went in and was surprised. Think about your favorites. Are any of them because of Amazon, Netflix, or Pandora? Why is it that when a friend takes us to their favorite restaurant or makes us watch their favorite movie, those things never become our favorites? I'll tell you why, because you didn't discover it. You weren't invested in the process. But when you are invested in the process, then you get the moment. You get to share it. You get to have all the joy and the magic of the moment and fall in love with it and make it a part of you forever. And I don't want an app for that. Technology is great. It makes things easier. What if it makes something easier that shouldn't be? I went to Europe about 13 years ago. This is before we had all the information available at our fingertips. Man, I got lost so many times. Didn't know where the heck I was walking around in London. Ended up on a train that went somewhere to Belgium. I ate at restaurants that had no idea what the waiter was actually going to bring me. And I stayed at the shadiest hostels in Paris that I had no idea if I was going to walk out alive. Sound a little scary? It was an absolute riot. Every unforeseen twist brought with it an unplanned story, and these are the ones I still tell today. Let me contrast that. I went to Germany a few months ago. I had my iPhone. I could pre-plan everything. We never got lost, not a single time. We found every site that we intended to. We found every single place we wanted to go. We made every single train. We didn't stay at any bad hotels. We ate at the best restaurants. We knew exactly what to eat. And if we couldn't read the menu, we simply had an app that would translate it. It was, I'm telling you, a perfectly planned vacation with no surprises. Seriously, isn't it sad, honestly, at some level, that we can't even get lost anymore? That we can't even walk into a restaurant without already knowing everybody's opinion of it. I went to this restaurant a few years ago with some friends in Kansas City, this Italian restaurant. Ordered the spaghetti, not knowing it was the spaghetti challenge, where they bet you can't possibly eat the whole thing. I'm not kidding you, this meatball was the size of my face. Oh, we laughed about this for hours, we laughed about it for days. In fact, we still talk about it. Later, I went and looked up on Yelp. Everybody is warning everybody about the spaghetti. Yeah. I think every human wants to be happy. I think we all want to find things that satisfy. But this never has been, nor will be able to be, because of a shortcut. Wasn't Breaking Bad so much fun because you didn't know where it was going? Isn't The Magician more thrilling because you don't know how the tricks are done? Isn't giving a gift more rewarding when the recipient doesn't even know it's coming? And don't we just love the stories of surprise engagements? Technology is great. It makes things easier. But knowing more things is not leading to more life. And yet the advancement of our technology is operating under the assumption that it does. And we buy in. I buy in. I thought to myself, how much am I actually addicted to the stream of information? I thought about going an entire weekend without using my phone or computer for any information. And as I was driving home on this particular Thursday, I realized, this experiment probably isn't very fair. I probably can figure this because I know what's coming. Really, if I want to pull this thing off, what I really need is an unaware, untainted specimen whose phone I could take and then watch the reaction. The obvious choice for a person, of course, was my wife. So when I got home, she was in the shower, Kristen was in the shower, I took her phone off the kitchen counter, turned it off, and threw it in a bag in the closet. Yeah. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, and the answer is yes. I also secretly messed up the internet on the home computer as well. Yeah. Now, how long do you think it took before Kristen realized that her phone was missing? If you're thinking to yourself, immediately, that's the right answer. Coming out of the shower was a mad dash around the house. She looked everywhere. She went back and looked in the shower. What? Doesn't even make sense. It's not the shower. I don't know what you're doing there. Kristen had no access for an entire weekend. No BuzzFeed, no Facebook, no daily deals, no emails, no text messages, no updates from the rest of the world. To add some drama, I actually faked a few text messages from her friends saying that they were looking for her and they had some big news for her. This caused a small panic. She got a little frustrated when I told her that there were some photos being posted of her on Instagram and Facebook that she was tagged in, but unfortunately she couldn't look at it because my phone had just died. Yeah. And lastly, she was rendered pretty much useless when I asked her what movie we should go to when there was no Apple trailers or IMDb to help sort the whole thing out. Yeah. Now, this 3-day gadget meltdown lasted until Sunday afternoon when Kristen finally decided to give up, that her phone was nowhere to be found, and that we would have to go to the store and get a new one. All right, I said, hold on. Let me take one more look around the house. And you are not going to believe this, but I actually found her phone on the kitchen counter behind the bananas. It was there the whole time. Yeah, can you believe that? Now, later I asked her, I said, what was the worst part of not having your phone for that amount of time? And the answer she gave was pretty honest. I think it's the same one that you or I would say. She said the worst part was not knowing. I think that's a pretty good statement of where we are as a culture today. Now, I want to fill you into something. I never did tell her about the experiment, or that I took her phone, or that I threw it in the bag in the closet. And the kicker is she's actually finding out about this right now. Yeah. At the same time you are, because she's in the audience right over there. Surprise, honey. Oh man, she is going to kill me for that one. All right. Let me end with this last final thought. Life is an amazing gift, freely given to you to enjoy. But I want to challenge you today to not open its moments too soon. The excitement comes from the wondering, the enjoyment from the wandering, and the richest, fullest life from the ups and downs that lead to discovery. Let's celebrate the surprise of life by letting it be just that. Thank you for your time.